Hello guys, I'm Nurse Hess and we will talk about deep vein thrombosis. In this presentation, we will talk about what deep vein thrombosis is, its symptoms, causes, and treatments, the risk factors involved, and how we can prevent this DVT to occur, the test on how to know if we are affected by DVT and its complications. First of all, we need to know what deep vein thrombosis is all about. Deep vein thrombosis occurs when a blood clot, also known as thrombus, forms in one or more of the deep veins in your body, usually in your legs. Deep vein thrombosis can cause leg pain or swelling but can also occur with no symptoms. Usually, DVT can develop if you have certain medical conditions that affect how your blood clots. It can also happen if you don't move for a long time, such as after surgery or an accident, or when you're on bed rest. DVT can be very serious because blood clots in your veins can break loose and travel through your bloodstream and lodge in your lungs, blocking blood flow, which is called pulmonary embolism. Let's move on to its symptoms, causes, and treatments. These are the symptoms that you may feel if you will have DVT. A pain in your leg that is often starts in your calf and can feel like cramping or soreness, discolored leg or what we know as the red leg, a feeling of warmth in the affected leg. If the upper extremities are affected, the symptoms are neck pain, shoulder pain, swelling in the arm or hand, blue tinted skin color, pain that moves from the arm to the forearm, and the weakness in the hand. DVT can be caused by the following. Injury can damage a blood vessel wall that can narrow or block blood flow. A blood clot may form as a result. If you will have surgery, blood vessels can be damaged. It can lead to the development of a blood clot. Reduced mobility is the same as bed rest. When you sit frequently, blood can collect in your leg, especially in the lower parts. Certain medications can increase the chances of your blood will form a clot. DVT occurs most commonly in people who are over 50 years of age, but certain conditions that alter how your blood moves through your veins can raise your risk of developing it, such as bone fracture, being overweight, if you have catheter placed in your vein, if you're smoking and having family history of DVT, if you're taking birth control pills, and staying seated for a long time while you're in a car or on a plane. These are the following treatment for DVT. Your doctor might prescribe medications that thin your blood, like heparin, warfarin, and oxaparin. This makes it harder for your blood to clot. It also keeps existing clots as small as possible and decreases the chance that you'll develop more clots. If blood thinners don't work or if you have a severe case of DVT, your doctor might use thrombolytic drugs. Wearing a compression stockings can prevent swelling and might lower your chance of developing clots. Your doctor may suggest surgery to remove a DVT clot in your arm or leg. This is typically only recommended in the case of a very large blood clots or clots that are causing serious issues like tissue damage. DVT exercises can prevent DVT. DVT exercises that can help you prevent DVT are knee pulls, foot pumps, and ankle circles. It is very important for us to know the risk factors of DVT and how we can prevent it from occurring. Risk factors include hereditary blood clotting disorders. Cancer and inflammatory bowel disease can also increase the risk of developing a blood clot. A condition of a heart failure that makes it more difficult for your heart to pump blood can cause an increased risk of clots. DVT is a major risk associated with surgery. It is especially true if you're having a surgery in the lower extremities, like joint replacement surgery. You can lower your risk of having DVT by making a few lifestyle changes. This includes keeping your blood pressure under control, giving up smoking, and losing weight if you're overweight. Moving your legs around when you've been sitting for a while also helps keep your blood from flowing. Take any blood thinners your doctor prescribes if you're having surgery. This can lower your chance of developing clots afterward. And now we can proceed for the complications of DVT and the test that we are doing to know if the patient is at risk or having DVT. A major complication of DVT is a pulmonary embolism. You can develop it if a blood clot moves to your lungs and blocks a blood vessel. This can cause serious damage to your lungs and other parts of your body. The signs that you're having pulmonary embolism are dizziness, sweating, chest pain that gets worse with coughing or inhaling deeply, rapid breathing and heart rate, coughing up blood. These are the tests to determine if you have DVT. Number 1 is ultrasound. It is most commonly used test for diagnosing DVT. It uses sound waves to create a picture of your arteries and veins in order to see how blood flows through them. The next one is venogram. If the ultrasound is inconclusive, your doctor may order a venogram. During this test, a dye is injected into the vein in question. Then an X-ray is taken over the area where your doctor suspects DVT is present. The dye makes the vein more visible, so interrupted blood flow would be easily seen. The last one is the dimer. It is a blood test measures the presence of a substance that's released when a blood clot breaks apart. If levels of the substances are high and you have risk factors for DVT, you likely have a clot. If levels are normal and your risk factors are low, you likely don't have. The following are the list of references I've used for this presentation. Thank you. Please like and subscribe my channel.